What's going on, everybody? My name is Mario. This is a channel all about amusement park type stuff, but mostly coasters. And today I'm taking a trip for the first time since literally 2019. This is the first time I've gone to a new park away from home, and that park is Carowinds. That's Fury 325 right there. And I can't contain my excitement. I've been wanting to get on this coaster for a long time now, and it's gonna happen today. It's a hot one, but it's gonna be a good one. Let's go do it. So walking in from the parking lot, Fury just towers and imposes over everything. I mean, it looks so amazing. I saw it do one cycle and the anticipation is building more and more. I'm just so stoked to be riding it. One of the cool things, if you've seen any videos on Carowinds before, you probably already know this, but actually the park is, half of it's in North Carolina, half of it's in South Carolina. So this little line right here shows where the split is. So you can actually walk straight down the middle and be in both states at once. Pretty fun. Looking at the app, the lines are pretty short today, so I'm pretty excited about that. It looks like Nighthawk's going to be down the whole time. It has been down for a considerable chunk of the season, so we'll miss out on that, but everything seems to be up and running. Fury's the next stop, or first stop, and I'm still very excited. It feels super nice to walk through here on a 90 whatever degree day. There's plants and shade. It feels so cool in here, literally speaking, although I suppose it does figuratively look kind of cool as well. Oh my god, I just want to get on Fury me. But I do know Fury, you need to get a locker. The lockers, by the way, $4 for 2 hours. So I'm gonna do that, and then finally it'll be Fury time. Wow. Wowee. First time ever riding Fury 325, and I'm thoroughly satisfied. I think my adrenaline's pumping so much that it's still a lot to process, so I better go on again. But yeah, I mean, that was amazing. Just like fantastic airtime, and very strong airtime as well, like 5+ airtime moments, and they're all very strong floater, or in some cases even strong ejector. But it just does so much more than airtime. It has so many good lateral moments, so many positive G-forces, a little bumpier than hyper coasters I've been on, but still super smooth. I think just those intense positive G-forces really kick in. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that. Definitely gonna go on for another ride. All right, y'all, getting off second time in a row. Front row this time. This is obviously the recency bias talking, but in a lot of respects, it's the best coaster ever. In a lot of respects. I don't know if it's my personal, #1 coaster. It's definitely up there. It checks every single mark without being overly aggressive. And it still may be my personal favorite, but need some time to let that sink in after getting that front row ride. I'm obviously going to be a little biased, but that was the real deal for sure. But I should go check out some other rides probably. Although I still have the locker, so should I just do Fury again since it's pretty amazing? Dilemmas, y'all. Good dilemmas, but dilemmas, y'all. Not too far away is Vortex, the park's stand-up coaster. It's a little older. I hear it's a little shaky, but I'd like to be the judge for myself. Maybe I'll like it. I am excited to get on it. I haven't been on a stand-up coaster in a minute, so let's go see how it is. Okay, so I have to be completely honest. That is not the most popular ride amongst fellow coaster enthusiasts, but I liked it. I mean, it was intense. It had some good lateral moments. It was filled with positives. Only downside is the fact that you're standing up on it. So it's a little taxing on your legs, especially my little tiny baby legs over here. So it was very rough on the feet. I would have loved that so much more if it were a sit-down coaster. I genuinely enjoyed it. Good layout for how small it is. Lots of forces, but again, when those forces are being put on your legs and your feet, it's a little uncomfortable, but other than that, I didn't mind it at all. A lot of fun, actually. I think I'm gonna reride this a time or two this trip. So right next door is Carolina Cyclone, which I do know did get a new paint job recently. And it looks so beautiful in person. Let's go ride a pretty ride. Just kidding, it looks like they're still working on their cycle to get it open. So I'm gonna hit up the drop tower instead and then come right back. That was actually a really good drop tower. I mean, you can see behind me is nothing too tall. I mean, especially compared to like Fury or the observation tower, a lot of the other tall rides in the park, but damn, it doesn't hit the brakes till you're super close to the ground. The stomach dropping sensation is legit. Lots of fun. And since we're right by it, we're gonna go on Hurler. I saw the station for it. There's nobody in it. It's an old wooden coaster, so I'm expecting some roughness, but hopefully the experience is good. Okay, so that was a little on the bumpier side. Still had fun. Thankfully, those PTC trains are very soft and cushiony, so they absorb a lot of the blows of the rougher track. Some of the turns did get me a little bit though. All in all, not bad for an older wooden coaster. Had some good floater airtime at the beginning of the ride, which was really fun. Some of the laterals were really intense, but again, those are some of the sketchier parts, for lack of a better word. I still had fun though, you know? It's worth riding for sure. For another slightly less smooth ride, finally gonna get on Carolina Cyclone now. So that was all right. Definitely not as comfy as the trains of Hurler. So the bumps were more felt. It is just fiberglass that you were sitting on, but the loops were super fun and forceful. I again grayed out. I think I really just need to eat now. The corkscrews were a little rattly, but after the corkscrews was my favorite part of the ride. There's this helix that has amazing head choppers as there's these wooden beams flying over your head and you're down in a little trench. That part was really cool, not too bumpy either. But if you can't handle rough rides, I don't recommend it. You do shake around, especially in the corkscrews. But if you're a coaster lover and you like some of the older school attractions, it's a very good corkscrew for what it is. So for lunch, we're eating at Chicky and Pete's. I've had Chicky and Pete's at Cedar Point and it was pretty good. So I'm thinking it will be the same here. Nice indoor seating and air conditioning as well, which is super great on a hot day like today. That was half decent and much needed rest. So after that, we're gonna go on Carolina Gold Rusher next. Classic Aero Mine train. I love me some Aero Mine trains and I'm excited for something that isn't gonna be as intense as well. So that was actually surprisingly really fun. I knew this was one of the smaller Aero Mine trains out there, but it has some really good and surprising and genuinely scary head choppers on it. Definitely don't put your hands up on this one. It rides very low to the ground and below ground level a lot with a tunnel as well. It's a little wonky because it's an older ride as well, but still super fun. Really tiny seats. I was sitting on the edge of my seat the whole time, and it wasn't just for excitement. It was because the seat was so tiny, but really fun ride, especially for one of the smaller rides in the park. Well, that Copperhead Strike sign is very striking, if you will. Sorry for the bad pun. I believe Copperhead Strike is the other coaster at this park where you do have to pay for a locker. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then hop on. Okay, what? Okay, there's two things on that I was not prepared for. One, the ejector airtime. I was sitting in the second row, so in the front car, and the ejector airtime was strong, and some of it was even sustained, so I wasn't ready for that. And then two, theming? Like the whole pre-launch section had a little pre-show and it was really nice. Some really good moments of hang time, which I expected. It was a little shakier than I expected, to be completely honest, since this ride is relatively new. I guess it is snake themed, so a little bit of rattle makes sense, but really, really good overall. I was surprised. So I just heard a park-wide spiel that I absolutely adore. They just told people to make sure they stay hydrated and drink water throughout the day, and told them they offer complimentary water at every food and beverage location. I love it. That's so nice. Well, I went to get on a second time, but it's experiencing a delay, so I'm glad I got that one ride. Gonna go head on over to Afterburn, because it looks like that's pretty close as well. I hear that this is like sort of a little brother to Montu at Busch Gardens, Tampa, which is a great ride. So if it's anything like that at all, it's gonna be a good time. Looks really fun. It looks like it goes in and out of trenches. It looks very compact. Looks like the elements are super tight. I'm looking forward to it. Wow, that was really intense, but really, really good. Definitely the smoothest ride that I've been on in a minute now, especially since this is a couple decades old, I think. But wow, lots of intensity. The Batwing was super intense. I'd even argue that it was more intense than Montu's Batwing at Busch Gardens. If you don't know what that element is, it's this element right here. Wow. Yeah, down in some of those trenches, you're pulling some really heavy positive Gs. That was intense, but still enjoyable. It had enough spots where there weren't positives so that you weren't just completely like graying out or blacking out. Particularly right after the Batwing, you go up into a turn above the station, and it's not intense at all, but you kind of need that to catch your breath a little bit. All in all, a very, very solid invert. I'll definitely be back on it. Really, really fun ride. Having a great day so far. But now I'm heading back to Copperhead Strike. I still got the locker rental over there, so I might as well give it another ride. Or two, or three, we'll see. Yeah, dude, that ride is very, very legit. It's not quite as intense or intimidating as, well, not Intimidator, I still need to go on that, but not as intimidating as Fury 325, but it definitely packs a punch. Even the launch has a good little kick to it at the beginning. All in all, very, very solid ride. I'm excited to get back on it later today, or at least later in the trip. I like this part of the park. There's lots of trees and shade and fun banjo music playing, some nice looking buildings, a gazebo. Who doesn't love a good gazebo? Wow, we even got some water fountains, and there's a bridge that we're about to go over. It's a very pretty part of the park. I like it. So after a bit of wandering, I've stumbled upon Intimidator. So let's go ahead and get that one down. And then that'll be all of my top coasters checked off the list. That was pleasant. Really, really pleasant. Lots of floater airtime. I sat in the very front and I was floating the entire ride. That was really, really fun. Definitely more floater airtime than Fury. A lot less intense than Fury. But wow, if you don't want a really intense ride but want a tall, big ride that feels fast and is just super fun, this is your ride. That was a lot of fun. I'm gonna get back on it. Wow, y'all, that ride is just pure fun. I sat in the very back row this time, and all the airtime is stronger on the hills, but not as sustained. You don't start coming out of your seat until after you crest the hills. So it's a matter of whether you want more airtime or stronger airtime. But I could genuinely ride that ride all day, and I might ride that a lot this trip. I had so much fun on it. But I've ridden almost every single coaster here at this point, so I think I'm gonna try and find the entrance for Kiddyhak, the Parks Suspended Family Vekoma. Parks Vekoma Family Suspended Coaster, however you want to say it. I'm trying to go on Kiddyhak next. I'm hearing kids coming back saying that it was not fun and it hurt. I don't know if they're just goofing around or if that's really the case, but I'm excited to find out. Not the best ride I've been on today, say that much. Very, very shaky. I think the bumpiness itself wasn't too problematic. It was the resulting headbanging on the over-the-shoulder restraints that was less than enjoyable. I liked every other coaster better so far, but it would be a very suitable layout for kids if they could somehow bypass that head smacking problem. I really liked that it had a stream running underneath it, a very pretty setting, very pretty colors. But now I'm heading to, I think, the last coaster that is open that I can ride which is Woodstock Express. So this little Camp Snoopy section of the park is very cute. It looks like it's been recently redone, which I think is the case. You have a nice little Snoopy fountain with Woodstock, some nice shade with some benches, and obviously plenty of rides for the children, including Woodstock Express, which is this vibrantly painted purple and yellow wooden coaster that I'm about to get on now. You know I'm gonna have to sit last row on this. This coaster does run with the old school PTC trains, which have buzz bars, which are lap bars that lock in a fixed position and don't come down all the way against your lap necessarily. So those are always really exciting restraint types to ride with, even if it is just a kiddie coaster like this. What? That had ejector airtime on the first drop and on the second drop too. Like, what? I was sitting in the very, very back row, but I'll say it one more time. What? Ejector airtime? What the heck? I mean, they do have a seatbelt in addition to the buzz bar, but that was a good classic old roller coaster. And even though it was just a kiddie coaster, it did throw me out of my seat a couple times. Don't pass it up if the line's not too long. Don't overlook it just because it's a kiddie coaster. It's a really fun time. A lot more comfortable than Hurler as well. So that was surprisingly good for what it was. But yeah, that's it. I hit up every coaster today. I'm super happy about that. I didn't know if it was going to be possible, but luckily the light crowds, probably due to the heat, made it so that I could. No, I didn't get on Ricochet. I'm a liar. I guess I'll go ahead and do that then. Ricochet, and then I'm done. And then re-rides and maybe some of the other flat rides in the park. I still have to get on flying Cobras as well. My brain is just not like fully functioning today, to be completely honest, but that's okay because I'm having a great time either way. Really enjoying this park so far. It's really nice and well kept. All the areas of the park seem relatively on the newer side, and even the ones that don't still look really pretty. There's a lot of greenery everywhere, which is nice. There's a decent amount of shade in every section of the park as well. There are some like sunny, uncovered parts of the midways, but there are plenty of places to just scooch to the side and take a break in some shade if that's what you need. Very, very positive opinions of this park so far.
Carowinds is not responsible for either.
That was a pretty fun Wild Mouse. We made it through the entire first section of turns without hitting any brakes really. Lots of lateral G-forces on that, going through those turns really quickly. Weight wasn't too bad either. They were moving trains very quickly, so even though the capacity is pretty limited, they were doing a good job of pumping trains out. Pretty good experience, nice and fun. I liked it. Okay, so I'm like 99% sure that I'm right this time. Flying Cobras is officially the last coaster I need to do today. I'm really excited for this one because I don't like boomerang coasters. This is a boomerang, but it has newer trains that should be a lot more comfortable with vest restraints, so you shouldn't be smacking your head around like on some of the other boomerangs. So I'm really excited to see how that impacts the ride experience. I think it's going to be a lot better. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so that was actually really good. Having those vest restraints as opposed to the old school over-the-shoulder harnesses, as well as a little bit of extra padding on the butt and the back, that was a fantastic ride. Like, I normally despise boomerangs, but that is a wonderful coaster. I think I'm gonna get some laps on a Copperhead Strike now, and then head back to Fury and close out the day over there. So after a couple of end of the day rides on Fury 325, heading out for the day, it was amazing. I was able to get on everything, most of the stuff that I wanted to multiple times as well. And I'm looking forward to coming back tomorrow and the next day. But yeah, everything was super fun. I mean, if you like coasters, this is definitely the park for you. You definitely have to come out here. I know Busch Gardens Tampa exists, but I feel like this is kind of like the coaster capital of the South. More coasters here than any other park in the South. So thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. And be on the lookout for tomorrow's video. And until next time. What?